Hello everybody, this is Erdalan. There are numerous questions about with how many square meters I can start growing saffron indoors. I'm sure you are aware the standards of the growing saffron indoors between 60 square meters to 100 square meters. Even with how many square meters I can, for example in India, Iran or the Europe, with even 20 square meters you can start growing saffron indoors. But for 60 square meters to 100 square meters has an economical justification. With even some of my trainees has for 20 square meters started and they were successful and they have economical justification for even 20 square meters. You should know with 100 square meters you can put around 4,000 kilograms of bulbs. In 60 square meters you can put the bulbs, you can cultivate the bulbs of saffron near the 2 or 3,000 of bulbs. For example, for 20 square meters we can put near 1,000 kilograms of bulbs or 600 kilogram of bulbs depending on your height of the building, because when we say about the square meters, 60 square meters, we have the building, for example like this, we have a building that have a height, its height is the 3 meters. For example, some people have this building 60 square meters with 2 meters. It is very clear. In 2 meters, you cannot keep the in 60 square meters 3,000 kilogram of bulbs. You know, for example, this is you are watching the numerous pictures of the building with the different. For example, this is has a very big height for the 6 meters, 7 meters. You know, you should know the standards of the height of the building. For example, this height is the 6 meters. Okay, this is a question and we have, for example, okay, 6 meters the height. And this is the good news or bad news? This is the bad news, you know. Some people think with the height of the 6 meters, we can put more the bulbs. For example, in 60 square meters, instead 4,000 kilogram of bulbs or 3,000 kilogram of bulbs, we can put more bulbs. For example, 8,000 kilogram of the height of the 7 meters, 6 meters. This is wrong. You should put the false ceiling and another ceiling. And this building usually is not suitable for the starting the growing saffron indoors. You know, for example, this is for storing, for the things, for the goods, not for the living things like the bulbs of saffron, like agriculture, because this height is very big, very high is the height, and you cannot control. Why? I disagree with this environment that's a height very big high. I told you the standards of the height of building 3 or 4 meters. In this building you cannot control carbon dioxide, temperature and the humidity also light. The most important thing in the growing saffron indoors is the temperature. If you cannot attempt to control the temperature in 14 to 17 centigrade, you won't see any flowers. And this building, even with the best air conditioner, with the best climate, you cannot control the temperature and carbon dioxide. You know, the height is very big, 6 meters. And what's your task? What is our task? We should dividing the environment with the wall and the ceiling. With the polyester, we have the numerous insulation, the panel, also the polyester, and you should divide and create a second ceiling in this very height. But it's so expensive. It is better for the starting create a high construct a building with the height the near 4 meters. The best height for the growing saffron indoors for 4. But some of my trainees want to start in the environment that they have. For example, one of the room in their house. Okay, you can. For example, usually these environments has the height the near 2 meters, 3 meters. You can control, even is better for control. But you cannot more standards the kilogram of the bulb of saffron. For example, for 60 square meters with the 2 meters, you can put instead 4,000 kilogram of bulbs, you can put only 1,000 kilogram of bulbs, as usually doesn't have economical justification. But for the scientific, for technical, you do not have problem with the lower rate of the height. But very If you, for example, if the pass will over 4 meters, you cannot control environmental factors. It's very clear. The standards 4 meters, 3.5 to 4 meters, the best height for the building that you want to start growing saffron indoors, because the temperature plays very important role in the flowering of the saffron, and you should know the best height for the growing saffron or your saffron farm is the 4 meters or 3.5 meters. The lower than the, for example, 2 meters, you cannot put the value, the considerable bulk of the saffron. Okay, but this is okay. This is a building. This building is constructed, has been constructed with the block, with the cement block, and I do not recommend for the bridge, for the common cement, because you cannot control the temperature even for the standards of the 4 height. When we say about the building, it is better for starting, you start with the rectangular shape. For example, if you want to start with 100 square meters or 60 square meters, for example, for 100 square meters, it is better. The width, the height is the 5 meters, the length should be 20 meters. 20 by 5, 100 square meters. For example, if 60 square meters, 5 by 12, 5 wide, and the width and the length, it's better in the 12. 5 by 12, 60 square meters. Like a rectangular shape, you can put the 2 rows of shelves, and it helps to you to control the environmental factors with 2 rows of shelves. For example, if your environment be like a square shape, you are forced with 4 rows of shelves, and you cannot control in the environmental factors. For example, this is a building with the very simple, with the cement block, bridge cement, and it doesn't have the insulation like polyester, only in the layer, and you cannot control the environmental factors. It is very clear. Okay. For example, in this, you can see the insulation. The ceiling is the most important part in your insulation of your building. As you can see in the ceiling, you can see the polyester, the thickness of 10 centimeters and the density over 20. As you can see, the ceiling, because the ceiling, we do not have any neighbor, we do not have another building, and the best ceiling for the building is the polyester or panel in the ceiling, 4 meters, and you can easily control. Even in India, in even the warmest region in the India, you can control in summer or autumn the temperature, because in the saffron, growing saffron indoors or the growing mushroom, we need a temperature around 25 centigrade in summer, at the beginning of autumn 20 centigrade, and the middle of the autumn the range of the 14 to 17 centigrade. These are the reality, and you should be aware and control the temperature in this environment. Okay, the building helps you, the specification of building helps you that you have the best structure. Okay, this is the building. After constructing your building, 2 rows of shelves. When we say about the 2 rows of shelves, 1 row. The distance between 2 rows of shelves is the 1 meters. Between the 2 rows of shelves to the walls, 80 centimeters, and between the distance between the shelves to the wall is 80 centimeters. And this, with the height of the 4 meters, you can have 6 floors of the shelves, and you can easily, in 100 square meters, you can put 4,000 kilograms of bulk of saffron in the shelves. Okay. And for example, like this is the very simple store, warehouse that usually the people want to start. This height, its height is very high. It is very clear. For example, 5 meters, 6 meters. You should divide this environment with the false ceiling, with another ceiling. The polyester is the panel, another shape of the building, plastic duct, and 2 rows of shelves. And this wall is the polyester. This is a model, and also this another model. This is your building. This is the building. For example, if our building is 100 square meters, the length is 20 meters, the width is 5 meters. 5 by 20 meters, 100 square meters. And the length of the shelves is 12 meters. This is the shelves. These are, both of them is shelves. Two of shelves. The width of one of shelves is the 120 centimeters. 120 centimeters. Also the distance between two shelves is the 1 meter. And also we should have a distance between at the wide, at the end of your building, the distance between these you have near to 80 centimeters. The distance between wall to shelves 80 centimeters, and this is access to this. In these two row of shelves, in these shelves you can put the wooden boxes and the saffron, okay? And also the distance between the entrance room to the main room. And this, in this space, in this environment, you can put your air handling unit, your chiller, your boiler, and another things that you want to start. Also 5 meters. This room, okay, this is the very clear. This is the saffron, bulbs of saffron, CO2 sensors, and also temperature sensors, and the roof exhaust, 50 by 50 centimeters. This is the plastic duct, two row of shelves, and the building insulation with polyester. 8 centimeters is the thickness, 10 centimeters for the ceiling. This is exactly that I told you. Chiller, air handling, the situation of the air handling unit, the boiler. For example, the warm water in the winter enter to the air handling unit, and air handling unit provide for you warm air. The chiller provide for you cold water, and the cold water circular in the inside the chiller and provide for you cold air. For example, in the India that has a very warm region, very warm, also autumn, also in autumn reach the temperature 25 centigrade, and you need to 17 centigrade, 14 centigrade. You should provide a chiller connected to the air handling unit, and air handling unit in the autumn in India easily provide for you the 14 or 12 centigrade for cold tracking or flowering, okay? And the plastic duct, this is all the saffron, needs to 17 centigrade during flowering, and the shelves, temperature sensors, and this for the control of the carbon dioxide, that during flowering should be open 50 by 50 centimeters the window, because during flowering, before flowering, we need to full of oxygen. And air handling unit and opening the roof exhaust help us, we have the full of oxygen, because the bulbs of some needs to oxygen, needs to low carbon dioxide. 800, you should control the carbon dioxide 800 ppm, okay? I would like that show you another, the real of the building of the saffron. This is the air handling unit, heating, chiller. Okay, for example, we have in Norway, Canada, Deutschland, Europe, and Sweden. The also autumn is very cold, and they need, unlike the India, warm air. They should provide the boiler, or boiler provide for them the warm water, and warm water connected to air handling unit via pipe, and air handling unit, okay, receive the warm water, and warm water in the air handling unit converted to warm air. And the autumn easily you will have the suitable temperature. You know, our tasks, our goals in the range 25 centigrade in the summer, 17 centigrade in the autumn. In the very cold countries like Deutschland, like Norway, we need to warm heating system that provide for the warm water that connected to the air handling. Air handling unit is a fixed. In the India, in the cold country, in the warm countries, all of us should have the air handling unit. Air handling unit provides for the cold air and the warm air. And via window also provide, if the some country that access to the sun, easily provide the light of the sunlight. Okay, CO2 sensors, the temperature, air handling unit, dimension of the air handling unit 160 centimeters, 150 centimeters, 110 centimeters, and the boiler, the specification, also the fan, because in the access room. This access room For example, before entering the saffron farm, you need to room that provide for you cold air, and also that provide for you the heating system, the cooling system, the air handling unit, because you cannot, the putting this heating system inside the main that we have the shelves of the saffron, because we need the space, because the humidity is over 80%, and it's better we have these machines in the access room. And the access room, we have the electricity button, we have the chiller, we have the others. In this system we can easily provide, and also plastic duct connected to the air handling unit. Also 2 row of shelves, 1 2 3 6 in the height with the 4 meters. We can easily put the 100 centimeters. This is polyester. And also behind me you can see the polyester for the ceiling. The best insulation for mushroom farm, for the saffron farm, is the panel. Panel is the best. Polyurethane, but the second is the polyester. Is the behind me is this price is a very different, but you should select the suitable. Okay, behind me is the polyester. We should use it in the ceiling. Okay, after in the up you can easily see in the ceiling the polyester in the ceiling of your building, and we have the height the near 4 meters, and in the summer and also the peak of summer, peak of winter, we have the suitable temperature in mushroom or other country. Also in this system, for example, in this warehouse, in this building has a very high, okay, with the false ceiling, second ceiling, another ceiling, we have construct the suitable height the near 4 meters for better control environmental factors. Exactly like this, you can clearly see in this very big environment, because in this height is the 6 or 7 meters. If you, for example, without this ceiling start, you cannot control the CO2, you cannot control temperature, you cannot humidity, and we need to the panel polyurethane. This is very strong insulation, and also because it's a huge environment, even with the best, with the strongest air handling unit, with the strongest chiller, with the strongest climate, we cannot control. In the ceiling, the second ceiling help us to better control of environmental factors. Thank you. Also, it is necessary to say you, my book is available. Everything in my book about the growing saffron indoors completely has been explained. Also, the people that purchase my books about the growing saffron indoors receive from me 24/7 7 weeks, 5 days free online consultation. They can text me on the WhatsApp for purchasing my book. Text me on my WhatsApp 0098 935 8253945. 0098 935 8253945. Thank you so much.